Good evening. It's wonderful to be here with so many generous people. And I'm going to ask you why you think lobsters don't give money to charity. Because they're shellfish. So that is my very light-hearted start to an extremely serious subject, that of suicide. Because during the 3 hours we're together this evening, more than 60 people in this country would have attempted to kill themselves, and more than 2 of those people will have succeeded. Because suicide kills nearly 6,500 people in this country, and that's 17 a day. And to put that into proportion, and bear in mind I'm a cyclist, 17 a day suicides and 17 cyclists a year die on the roads of London, and we know how much has been spent on cycle superhighways. I used to run businesses and advise government. Paul also used to run businesses, and we were both Samaritan volunteers, me for nearly 36 years. Central London Samaritans used to run a service where they provided sustained support face-to-face for their most suicidal callers, and that service is now stopped. So we spoke to a lot of mental health professionals about whether there was a need for this service, and they all said yes. And the reason is that if you present at an A&E department almost anywhere in this country with suicidal feelings or depression, you'll either be so unwell, which is rare, that you'll be kept in, normally under section, or you'll be sent to your busy GP. And your busy GP normally has 2 options. One is to provide antidepressants, which work very well for a number of people, and the other is talking therapies, most often CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy. But if you're suicidal, those therapists won't accept you. So there is just nowhere for you to go for a lot of these people. We then didn't want to proliferate charities, so we met the chief executives of all the charities within the suicide prevention space and said, would you like us to join you with this service? And they all said, fantastic idea, we'd like to refer people, but it's not part of our strategy. And hence the listening place was born.
Okay, so what does the listening place actually do? It gives free face-to-face support to anyone who is suicidal. It's given by well-trained volunteers that listen with warmth, empathy and compassion. It's sustained support with regular sessions so visitors can open up over time. But most importantly, it is support that allows visitors to talk about their suicidal feelings. Because talking about suicide is possibly the most important thing that can be done in supporting someone that no longer sees any point in living. Most people that have suicidal feelings do not want to die. They just do not want to carry on living the life that they have. So we try and understand their life, engage with their feelings, get a taste of what they're going through, help them explore their darkest moments. When this happens, there can be an enormous emotional relief for the visitor, because the sense of being alone with their suicidal feelings is most unbearable for them. So who do we listen to? Yes, it's the bereaved who can't face life without their partner, or the young mother suffering from depression who can't admit her feelings to her husband, or the person suffering from a personality disorder as a result of their childhood trauma. But equally, it could be any one of us. As one of our advisors reminded us recently, we are all potentially one unforeseen and unimaginable event away from suicidal feelings and becoming a visitor.
So I'll just talk about the money side of it. The listening place is very easily scalable and replicable. We've just started in London, but all we need is the right premises and very well trained volunteers. Because you see, we have no paid staff at all. But we do need the right premises. We need the right premises in the right location to attract our volunteers and to be easily accessible for visitors from all over London. And there is a cost to the premises, to our marketing, to our IT, to our stationery and so on. When we're open 7 days a week, which we will be from 9 in the morning till 9 in the evening, it will cost about £100,000 a year. And at capacity, we'll see 750 visitors a year, which is less than £140 a life. And you can compare that with an NHS acute inpatient bed, which is now £330 a day nationally. We're currently open 3 days a week, 12 hours a day, but £6,000 would go a long way to providing for a 4th day, which would be to try and save another 100 lives. So why should you fund us? We've got no earned income, no statutory income, and we're dependent on grants, trusts, and donations from individuals. Therefore, without the generosity of people like you, we will cease to exist. And to try and sum up, which we had from a visitor today, they said, this is one of our visitors, they said, you are one of the strands in the rope that keeps me alive. And even though I understand that there is now a support group for compulsive talkers called On and On and On, I'm going to shut up.